Good day to all. The lesson that I'm going to do with all today is Indigo by Louis Fisher. If the cause is just and we believe in the cause, it does not really matter how powerful may the system be, or the person whom we are going to stand against and raising a voice for, without having to look for an external support system. Maybe it will be difficult, but it cannot ever be impossible for us to stand against any exploitation and atrocity of any kind whatsoever. Mahatma Gandhi, on insistence and resoluteness of Rajkumar Shukla, a patient from Champaran, had agreed to travel with him all the way to help them, the poor sharecroppers of Champaran, in their unequal fight against British atrocity and exploitation. Once there at Champaran, he had made all the prominent people and the lawyers to gather documentary proof and information, as he knew he had dared to challenge the authority and might of mightier than the mighty British government. He was asked to leave Champaran immediately. When he refused, he had been asked to appear before the court of law, but allowed him to remain at liberty without any bail amount having to furnish for. And later on, though all the charges against him had been dropped for, the charges were brought as they thought he had been trying to interfere with the British government's way of day to day functioning. Thus, for the first time around in modern India, civil disobedience had been triumphed. And when the documentary proof suggested that the British landlords were illegal and unlawful, they had immediately agreed to refund the amount of money that they had earlier illegally and deceitfully had extorted from. And to their utter surprise, Mahatma Gandhi had immediately agreed to accept the 25% compensation, though initially it had been agreed upon for a compensation of 50%. For Gandhi, the amount of compensation was not important. What was important was the fact that the British landlords were not only made to pay up, but also they had been made to swallow their pride and ego. And they were also given to understand that they were not and could never ever be above the law of the land. If they did wrong, they could always be prosecuted, and the poor sharecroppers, in their unequal fight for justice, would no longer be standing alone by. Gandhi's politics had always been very, very simple, yet very, very different. He had always believed in addressing the smaller issues of life, as he knew the smaller issues in turn would be able to address the bigger issues, and which was why he had always emphasized upon primary education, personal cleanliness, and community sanitation. His objective was to make people self reliant and be able to overcome their sense of fear, and then only they would ever be able to come together and raise their voice against any exploitation and atrocity of any kind whatsoever. Please work around the following words in the dictionary for their etymology, usage, and definition. Emaciated, resolute, tenacity, haunch, advent, chide, erection, desertion, vehement, deceit, defiance, alleviate. Thank you.